What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. I'm going to do away with the usual pleasantries because, unfortunately, as a Transformers fan, this is really awful news to talk about. Now, recently we lost Dolly Parton and Tim Curry, though I really didn't watch most of their movies or, listen to Dolly Parton's music or anything like that. I did watch it when I was a kid. I do watch it sometimes. I watch Legend because Tim Curry was the demon with the big horns. He was also in The Hunt for Red October and various other movies. Obviously, he was more a typecast character as a butler, unfortunately, for most of his movies. But, he's done a lot of TV appearances. Dolly Parton, the same thing. Everybody knows her from one of her most famous songs, Working 9 to 5, and Jolene. But today, many of us woke up to find out that one of our childhood heroes in the collecting spaces and Transformers fandom, we all learned that the voice actor, the one and only voice of Optimus Prime, in my opinion, Peter Cullen, has passed. And there's an unfortunate reality that many of us always have to face, is that nothing lasts forever. We have these wonderful collectibles and toys, and I still watch the Transformers cartoons. I grew up with this stuff. I was born in 1977. I am an 80s kid. Peter Cullen was also in Voltron. He was in both Voltron cartoons, the Lion Force and the Vehicle Force. Obviously, he's most renowned for his voice work with Optimus Prime. He's done a lot of character voices throughout the years, and obviously, even to this day, he's still doing the voice, or was past tense doing the voice of Optimus Prime. It hits close to home when you have losses like this. I never thought my father would pass away last year, but he did. I still mourn his loss in my own way. Though a lot of time has passed by, you never truly get over such an impactful loss like the death of a family member. But for a lot of us, we grew up with these franchises, and it feels like you lose a family member when one of them passes. I'm sure many fans of Michael Jackson, when he passed away, mourned considerably. Biggie Smalls, Tupac, you name anybody who had a major following. It hits close to home because you literally grow up with these people, watching them on TV and seeing them in music videos and up on stage, and they become part of your identity. You walk around with the earbuds listening to their music, or you sit there in awe and wonder watching them on TV or in movies, in the movie theaters. And in my case, when it came to Peter Cullen, watching the Transformers as a kid and opening up Christmas gifts and all that kind of stuff, even holding this studio series Optimus Prime, you can hear his voice. I am Optimus Prime. There's no way I can ever make that voice or imitate that voice or impersonate that voice. Peter Cullen's Optimus was so genuine and so unique. And if I remember the story correctly, I believe it was his brother that really encouraged him to bring the voice to life, because his brother served in the armed forces, and basically said, be full of wisdom. And I'm paraphrasing here, come up with a voice that is full of wisdom and knowledge and love and strength and all that kind of stuff. And we got that deep, dark, incredibly amazing voice that he used over the years to entertain us as kids. And now another generation of children have been enjoying the Transformers. Though I'm really not a fan of the Bayverse Transformers, it still has its fair share of fans. It's an unfortunate reality of our existence that death, when it comes, it comes, and there's really nothing you could do to stop it. You can prolong your life, you can try to extend your life through modern medicine and dieting, but at the end of the day, Death comes for us all. And when it comes to our heroes, even they can't run from the inevitable. I can remember many days, even with my little brother, that we would wake up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning watching all the Saturday morning cartoons back in the 80s, fighting over a stupid piece of plastic that would be in the cereal boxes. You know, they used to have toys in cereal boxes when we were kids, you know. And we would gasp in awe and get excited and jump around like hot potatoes whenever cartoons came on TV. You know, you don't see that anymore today. And it's a real shame. Kids are losing out. And thank God for a lot of adults like myself who keep up with these traditions of having these time-honored IPs, you know, whether you watch them on your computer or on your phone or whatever, that we keep these IPs alive and to pass it on to the next generation. I'm not really speaking as a G1 fan here. I'm speaking as a Transformers fan. It was amazing growing up with this stuff. It really was. I don't think kids today will ever come close to experiencing the magic and the wonder and the mysticism that we saw on our TVs and having the toys. Obviously, this is a modern day figure. Back in the days, you know, Transformers toys were not this sophisticated, but when you look at him, you can actually, literally, especially when I put him close to the camera, you can hear Peter Cullen's voice coming out of this Optimus Prime. He is, and forever will be, our Optimus Prime. You'll have people that will imitate him, will probably use AI to recreate his voice, but there will never be another Peter Cullen. I've been to plenty of conventions over the years. I never had a chance to meet him. I never got to meet him. I'm sure people will be sharing their experiences of actually, you know, coming in contact with him. All I've seen is nothing but positives come from him. It's just for a guy like myself who grew up with this, you know, it's a stark reminder that time doesn't stop for anybody. It's what you do here and now that matters. Especially a guy at my age, you know, who's 49 years old in so many months, and I'm approaching 50. There are more days behind than there are ahead. And I've had to learn to appreciate each and every single day. My past, to me, got me here, but it's what happens here and now that matters the most. And those innocent days of waking up at Christmas, opening up Christmas gifts, hoping that you got some Transformers toy, you know, it was magical. Even Voltron, he voiced many characters in the Voltron franchise as well, and many other cartoons back in the 80s, you know, and he did commercials. I mean, the voice work that he did was just incredible, alongside with Frank Welker. I mean, these men defined our childhood. And it's not just the characters, but they brought humanity to these characters. It's almost like having a death in the family when you lose someone like this. Again, I didn't know him personally. I knew him through his voice, through the characters that he portrayed. And it made my childhood, and many times when things were rough as a kid, having the Transformers, whatever few Transformers my brother and myself had when we were kids, it helped us to maintain our childhoods and get through hard times. Thank you, Peter Cullen, for essentially being a spokesman for the childhood of myself and the millions of kids that grew up in the 80s who are now adults. Who, if it wasn't for men and women like you who did voice acting and brought these characters to life, I don't think any of us would have a childhood of any kind back in the 80s. Thank you, Mr. Peter Cullen, and may you rest in peace till all are one. Take care, everybody.